All right, so my name's Caitlin Long. I am the CEO of Team Lifelong, and Sam Maldonado is my coach, so that is how we are connected. And we go way back from high school, which is pretty cool to experience this together now. And I am very honored to be on this call tonight and be leading you guys with our topic of the end of the year push. So, happy November. I cannot believe that it's already November. I just feel like the summer flew by and all of a sudden now it's the holidays. So, what are we going to do in these next 7 weeks or so to get ourselves motivated to stay on track and to really push not only for our goals, but also our challengers' goals leading up to the end of the year? So, here we go. Let's see. I'm just going to change the view here so I can see everybody's beautiful faces. All right. So something that Carl talks about a lot is about the end of the year resolutions. So rather than starting your resolutions when it hits January 1st, to really start thinking about what do you want to accomplish before the end of 2016. So perhaps that's hitting Success Club on a regular basis. Maybe it's becoming a success starter, hitting Emerald, Diamond, Star Diamond, making it to the new leadership conference, or earning a spot on the Success Club trip. Whatever your goals may be related to Beachbody, or even personal goals such as weight loss goals, financial goals, etc. I want you to keep those in mind those next 7 weeks, and we're going to talk a little bit about how to kind of reverse engineer those goals so you can not only see them at the end of the finish line, but start backtracking from there to see kind of how you're going to be able to crush them. So let's incorporate a little bit about the vital process, the vital behaviors. I know we talk about them pretty much every time, but the reason why we have to talk about it every time is that on an honest show of hands, I mean, who does the vital behaviors without fail every single day? I know that there's days where I can absolutely do better and do more. So let's talk a little bit about how we're going to incorporate that into the end of the year. So number one, self-care is going to be really critical. So obviously our job is to help other people to reach their goals and to lead happy, fulfilling, healthy lives. But in order to do that, we have to make sure that our cup is full as well. So what does that mean? That means making sure that you are getting your workout in, you're drinking your shake, you're being as healthy as you can, even if during the holidays, you know, it's 85-15 or 80-20, whatever you need to do to kind of get through. Make sure that you're really taking care of yourself. And that really should start with personal development. So with personal development, you want to make sure that your mind is on right. So get something that appeals to you. Just because everybody's reading one book or everybody's raving about one podcast or audio doesn't mean that that's what's going to work for you. You have to pick something that really speaks to you and is going to help you to not only be a better leader, but to help you with a more positive mindset. And I think that's really critical, especially in the times that we're dealing with right at this very moment. You turn on social media right now and it's just a disaster war zone. So it's going to be really important to kind of, you have to take control of your mind and your own destiny, regardless of what's going on in politics or what everybody else is saying. So I know I needed a swift kick in the butt, so I'm reading You Are a Badass right now. I tried to read some other books recently that just weren't really speaking to me. I know that I certainly need more than the 10 minutes or 10 pages a day that everybody talks about. Today I probably did about like 4 hours of personal development. And that's not just sitting down reading a book. I honestly didn't even get a chance to open this book yet. It was all through podcasts and just kind of sifting through different old national wake-up calls when I was walking my dog, when I was putting away the laundry, when I was doing the dishes, kind of catching up with my life. But also while doing some of those mundane tasks, I took it into my own hands to kind of get out of that really negative, low mindset that I was feeling the vibes from social media and kind of just take control and take charge and focus on what I needed to get done. And that really helped me. So absolutely self-care is going to be just imperative. From there, so you're doing your workout, you're being a product of the product, then what? You want to make sure that you are sharing the heck out of your journey. So if it's a quote that stood out to you in your personal development, if it is your workout, whether it's a certain move that you loved, a move that you struggled with, if it's your healthy meal of the day, a snack, your Shakeology. There's so many ways to share your journey, but the key is going to be authentic about your journey. And again, it all comes full circle and starts with your mindset. So you have to have that positive leadership mindset, get ready to go, get your workout in, do the things that you're supposed to do and share them. So you're being a role model for other people. You're being that beacon of light, of hope that people need and are craving to hear in this negative environment. You have to be the one that sets yourself apart. Use those positive vibes to really carry you and find your tribe. Make your posts relevant and always offer value. So what that means is, in order to be relevant, obviously we have the holidays coming up. I think people definitely want to see lots of healthy, holiday-friendly recipes that you would be able to take to your family's house over Thanksgiving or a holiday party, over Christmas, or whatever holidays you're celebrating. Try to offer those type of free recipes. Even if you stink at cooking or you stink at baking, there are still an abundance of recipes that you can at least share with people, even if it's as simple as a Shakeology recipe, that you can actually provide them value. And it doesn't have to vomit Beachbody all over the place. You can just share that picture with a recipe. And then it just kind of builds curiosity, builds trust with people. When you're giving them something for free without asking for anything in return, it's going to be a really big step in the growth process and in the trusting process between you and your future customer or challenger. And it's really important to show up every single day without fail, because what happens is, so they're going to see one of your posts one day in the midst of all of these crazy other social media posts. And okay, that's great. They saw it. They kind of thought it was cool. But then they forgot about it because they went on their scroll and they saw all of these other memes on their news feed and all of these other debates going on and all sorts of different articles, and they kind of lost track of that. If you're consistently showing up every single day, providing value, that positive spirit, that light, really great tips, tricks, workout videos, whatever you can offer people to help them in their life or their struggle, that's going to be very important, because if you're being consistent, then they're going to start to trust you, and they're saying, okay, this person is very serious about what they're doing. I'm going to watch some more. And that's how you're going to direct the traffic into your realm and start conversations with these people. And if they are liking or engaging, commenting, etc., you have to make sure that you're definitely following up with them. And I am going to go over a little bit about how to really maximize your power hour, and especially in the midst of all of this chaos in the holiday season, and how to really get the most out of it. All right, so we talked about being a product of the product. We talked about personal development. Inviting, recognition are also part of your vital behaviors. And I'm going to get into now a little bit more about how to maximize your inviting, your recognition, and kind of incorporate those into your power hour. So very important in midst of all the craziness with your power hour, whether it's a true power hour, 60 minutes, or if it's just power pockets throughout the day. I know, being a very busy physician assistant who works 12-hour shifts, sometimes I don't always get those pockets. So it's going to be really important to make sure you're in a quiet environment that's clutter-free. You're going to minimize your distractions. There's actually a way that you can completely turn off your news feed, so that can also minimize distractions. Just get in, get out. So do what you have to do, and don't even touch the newsfeed. Don't look at it. Don't engage in any of this nonsense that's going on. Just simply go into your inbox or whatever you have to do as far as your posts and get out. Even set a timer for yourself, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and that's all you get to do your posts and get out. Messaging might take a little bit longer, but I feel like when you're in the zone and messaging people, it's a little bit easier to kind of tune out some of the other distractions, as opposed to when you first put your post up and then you just start the mindless scroll. So again, quiet, no distractions. Try to discontinue your newsfeed if possible. get in, get out. And then how should you prioritize your power hour? So there's so many different ways you can do a power hour. And I know we've done them together as a team, which has been very beneficial, especially if you're a newer coach, where we do the powers of 3, where we invite 3, follow up with 3, connect with 3, reach out to 3 about the coaching opportunity, which is a great way to start. But I'm going to kind of break it down in a little bit of a different way that actually Christine Dwyer has taught us. And if you don't know, Christine Dwyer is kind of like our mother hen in our upline platinum presenter. She was one of the first Beachbody coaches, and she runs the conference called Platinum Edge every year. So what she describes as how she runs her power hour to really best convert people to getting them to really be your lifer, to not only just be customers, challengers, but getting them to be coaches is, number 1, she talks about the business opportunity first before she even starts any of the other things on her to-do list for Beachbody. So number 1, follow up with your business opportunity contacts, those who were interested, follow up with them first. So you can, again, use the power of 3s, use your Go for No sheet, whatever kind of tracking tool you're using. Just make sure you're using a tracking tool, whatever that may be. So you follow up with your business opportunity contacts, and then you invite 3 new ones, or however many new ones you can get in that day. Then you will move on to using your challenge group opportunity contacts and getting to follow up with those who were interested first and foremost, because you've already built a relationship with them. It's going to be a little easier. And then you go to your new invites after that. The next part will be doing your social media posts and creating content for the week ahead. So you can do this either on Sunday, Monday, kind of plan out your week. That'll make it a lot easier than sitting there and thinking, oh boy, what am I going to post today? I don't think I have anything to offer. So you kind of have to look at your life. Again, put it in context. We have the holidays coming up. There's so many things that you can do. So right now I have kind of a pattern going, and there's so many different content that we can share with you guys that kind of shows you just a very easy outline to say, okay, I don't know what to post. What should I do? And it actually kind of outlines for you. So we say 3 to 5 times a day, at least 2. And right now my pattern is I do a quote, I do a recipe, I'll do a fitness post, a lifestyle post, and kind of keep going in that pattern. So if I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know what I'm going to post today. Okay, it looks like I'm due for a quote. I'll post my quote. Or if there's something else that really speaks to me at that very moment, obviously I can replace that with the quote or the recipe or whatever else was due. But at least if I'm getting in a cycle where I'm just so busy, I can't even focus on my social media, which is probably a good thing these days, I make sure that I kind of at least follow that pattern, so I'm always coming up with content. And if I see things where I'm like, oh, it's probably not a good time to post, in the sense that not a lot of people are on social media at that point, then I'll just save it to my phone or save it to Evernote. It's a great resource, or even notes on your phone. You can even, sometimes in the car, I'll be like, oh, you know what, I had a really good thought, and I'll just dictate onto my notes kind of a post that I wanted to say and just edit it before I post it later on, because I work at really crazy times. So that's another way to save you some time. So, all right, so you did your business opportunity contacts, your challenge group contacts, you did your social media and content building. Make sure, again, value, whatever you can give people for free, that you're not asking a thing of them, you're just giving. You're being a servant. That's going to be really critical in building those relationships in these next 7 weeks. The next step, then you can, engage in your personal development, your training, learning new things about the business or working social media or whatever it is that your weakness is or that you're struggling in. I know for me, I opened a Twitter account. I have no idea what to do with it. That's something I'm learning about. Or Instagram, different Facebook Live videos. I still need to get more comfortable with them. So just little things that you can learn every single day on top of your personal development. Add that into your power hour. And then lastly, that's when you go into your check-ins with, number 1, your coaches, because then you're really helping them grow and to spread your leadership and make sure that their needs are being met and not neglected. And then you follow up with your customers and challengers, because we don't just get them into a challenge group and forget about them and get a success code point or a commission check and forget about them. We, again, have to build lifers, so they eventually want to coach or give you referrals or just continue to help them on their journey, because you're going to get these testimonials from people that you're really changing their lives. So make sure that you're following up with them, at least, a few people a day. It doesn't have to be your entire downline or something like that, but make sure you're checking in, making a point to show that you really do care about them and that they matter and their voice matters. So that's kind of a different way to look at the power hour and to really maximize it, so you are focusing on what are the things that are going to really be the catalyst to move your business forward, as opposed to just getting kind of stuck in social media and getting stuck in all these conversations. So get in, get out. That should really take about half hour to an hour. And again, you can do those in little power pockets, but I would just keep a list of that either in Evernote or your notes section of your phone. Keep a list of that where you can actually check it off every single day. So if I only have 5 minutes right now, I can only do these follow-ups, I just check that off and leave the rest for later. All right, so again, we have 7 weeks left, people. I seriously can't believe it. But to just kind of sit back on our laurels and to be comfortable and to just be okay with, getting a few Success Club points on the board or just Success Club 5, there's nothing wrong with Success Club 5. Do not get me wrong. But if you know in your heart that you are not putting forth your biggest effort and you're not consistent with the vital behaviors, or you're not consistent with doing your go for no's or talking to as many people as you can, you're really not only selling yourself short, but it's a disservice to the people who need you most at this time of year. If you feel like you're struggling, just imagine all of the people around us who, are dying for someone to reach out to them about this opportunity, whether it be for a challenge group or the business opportunity. Just think about how they must feel. We have this amazing support community that I think a lot of us sometimes take for granted. I know I have done that in the past, where, you just get so caught up in your daily life, but we always have this to fall back on, especially today and yesterday and the day before, with all of the stress involved with what's going on in our country. We have this amazing resource at our disposal, and it should not be wasted, and it's absolutely our duty to share that with other people. So not only if you're not talking to people, if you're not really giving it your all, if you're not doing a little bit consistently every single day, it's not only going to hurt your business. You might not see an effect today, but absolutely there's kind of a lag. I'd say 3 to 6 months where it may hurt your business in the future. And again, it's truly our duty and our service as people who committed to help people. I think all of us here tonight are people who got into this because they love helping people. So if we're being true to ourselves and true to our goals and why we got in this in the first place, then it's absolutely something that we have to commit to doing, and not just saying, oh, well, I'm not going to do it today because I don't have to. We get the honor to help these people. So try to think of it that way. So let's reverse engineer for the next 7 weeks. So if your goal is to hit Success Club, Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, if you think about 1 in 10 people will say yes, then let's say you want to get your 3 people a month, so that's your Success Club 5, or technically 6, then you would have to talk to at least 30 contacts. If you wanted to get to Emerald, again, think about those 30 contacts at least. Now, think about, there's a book called The 10X Rule that I just finished on audio, actually. It's by Grant Cardone. It was really good in thinking of the mindset that, the bare minimum just isn't enough. And even if you think you're going above and beyond that, there's still always something that can be done. And that's not said to try to stress you out or make you feel overwhelmed, but to really just take a very honest look at yourself and see, are you doing the things that you should be doing? So in order to hit Success Club, you have to talk to at least 30 people. Same thing, if you want to hit Emerald, get those first 2 people, I would say, push it a step further, get that Success Club. Then you need to be talking to at least 30 contacts. If your goal is to hit Diamond, so you have to have your 2 Emeralds, which would be 40 people, and then you have 3 on each leg, so that'll be 90 or so people. Think about how many people you would have to talk to between now and the end of the year. Make that list, use your go for no's, and really break it down that way, that if you have that goal and you know exactly how many people you need to make that goal happen, just reverse engineer and multiply by 10 to see how many people you actually have to talk to. And that doesn't mean you have to talk to all of them in one night. Obviously, you can break it down 3 to 5 people a day or just in little snippets. Of course, you can tap into your follow-ups, people you've talked to even months ago about the programs, and that's perfectly fine. I don't think that just because they didn't answer you the first time, oftentimes people don't see those messages. You know, it gets so crazy sometimes that you put it in the back of your brain that you're going to follow up with this person or you're going to message them back, and you just forget. So things happen. I make it a point to message everybody on their birthday in a private message. And some of those people, now that I'm coming around this year, they're people that I talked to when I very first started, who I had a message sitting there that they never answered. But then when I messaged them on their birthday, they're like, oh my God, so good to hear from you. Oh yeah, by the way, I just saw that message from a year ago. I must have missed it or whatever. So just another way to spark conversation that's not so in their face, like, hey, join my team or join my challenge group. So that's going to be basically how you're going to get to your goals for the end of the year. So I know personally my goal is to be Star Diamond, hopefully 2-star, get to the new leadership conference so I can continue to spread some wisdom and knowledge and leadership to all of you guys and to my personal downline. But in order to do that, I can't just say I have these big goals and do nothing about them. I have to make sure that I'm being true to these year-end resolutions and taking care of myself, being a product of the product, actually doing my personal development and not just listening and soaking it in, but actually implementing these things or sharing my takeaways, not only with my team, but potential future challengers who just need to hear that positive message in such a negative world. Are you inviting? Are you recognizing? Are you maximizing your power hour? Are you even doing a power hour? Because I know for me, for a while there, I was struggling a little bit in October with some family issues, some other things going on in my life. I certainly wasn't doing a power hour. And of course, my business is going to suffer because of it. But the point is, don't let a slip become a slide. So if you've been having a hard time the past few months, if business has been down, if you've had your own personal things going on, it's okay. We're human. Those things are going to happen. But the really important thing is to get back on the horse, start small, start with these baby steps every single day. Make sure, first and foremost, you're taking care of yourself so you can fill your cup in order to overflow to others. And then you can go into helping other people as best you can. And I think this power hour is going to be a really good way to do that and to continue to grow your team. So, who has goals for Success Club for this month? Awesome. And how about Emerald? Diamond? Awesome. Awesome. How about Star Diamond? Maybe. Well, maybe for 2017. But in order to get those big goals to happen, the momentum starts now. It doesn't start January 1st. So I hope that was valuable for you. I'll open it up for any questions that you have. And that is really it. Oh, the other thing I wanted to just mention was make sure that whatever program you are doing, for your being the product of the product, make sure you're sticking to one and really sharing the crap out of it. So whatever your soulmate program is, or if you're trying a new program for the first time, like for me, I'm doing Core de Force right now, and I'm really sticking with it. And I'm showing people that like anybody can do it. I had no experience with MMA or kickboxing or anything like that before. So this is all totally new to me. So I'm just kind of sharing that journey really authentically, providing people with any value that I can give them. And that's really going to be part of my personal end of the year push. So finishing Core de Force, making sure I'm getting people in the challenge group and making sure that I'm getting them results, and then trying to get them to truly not only believe in the product, believe in themselves, and then believe that they certainly can pay it forward and help other people, which equals a coach. And then from there, kind of really empower your coaches build up their belief systems and help them help others. So it's just kind of this circle of life and continuum. So I hope that makes sense. That's kind of my plans for the end of the year, and it's really to talk to as many people as I can. I know I definitely want to talk to 100 people this month, 100 people next month. So if you think about, 200 people in the next 2 months, that's a pretty good odds that things will happen, and the odds will be in your favor. So hope that's helpful. I'll unmute you guys if you have any questions for me. I'm happy to answer them. Okay, I'll unmute, and I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks, guys.